Hello, wild ones. This is Cole Adams, and this is a sample from a board book class I recently taught. This is a little meditation. I walk through this much slower when I'm doing the meditation, but just really about being present in the spaces I'm in. It's very simple, but very effective for me. And I consider this page 3 deep breaths with these 3 drips. So that was one of the books I took to class. It was a teeny tiny one. The class was in Mineral, Washington. Those were Roosevelt elk herd that lives near there. And these are some of the lovely creation stations of the class. After the first day, we pulled all the gel plate prints together, and these are what people had worked on. This is the lovely view of Mineral Lake, and sometimes you can see Mount Rainier reflected, but this is pretty gloomy weather, but we made sure there was sunshine inside. These are some of the ladies' places. After day 1, I gave everyone a sanded board book to start, and we used collage materials, deli plate prints, acrylic paint to cover and finish the insides, really get the insides juicy and creative. This is Darcy's lovely desk. And then my desk. That's the book I'm working on. I think I'm going to do a bunch of Hamsa hands in there, or welcoming hands, as part of the work I'm interested in. Excuse me. Marjorie's desk and Connie's desk. Connie is drying her book underneath that big stack of books. Because this was at the end of day 1. People had kind of cleaned up. This is Carla's space. Here's all the ladies looking at the gorgeous view. The fog had burned off for a few minutes. So, and there was a bunch of geese outside, I'm pretty sure. So we were taking a look. Here's some more lovely creativity spaces. I really love Celine's gel plate printing. It was a lovely time of creativity and really community building. Here are all the books put together at the end from class, and just seeing how far everyone got. And I love how they are a book that just stays upright when you put them on edge, and that helps keep them dry too. So here's Darcy's too that she worked on during the weekend. Water is Medicine is the title of this book, and we're both wild swimmers, so she's going to spend some time really digging into the water, all the ways water heals. And that is a cut through, a little thing we taught during class, and a packing tape transfer. And here is another book that she had already started and gotten quite a few layers on, but she was working on it during the weekend too, with lots of cut throughs in this book. She really enjoys that particular part of board book making. Still needs some work, but it's getting there. And I like that you can come back to these again and again. I love them as a side-along journal where you're just adding paint off your brush and filling it up for a while. I also did a big cut through. This was a lichen that we put on the gel plate. And then that's as far as I got during class. This is a Golden Lines book. I have a full flip through a little bit later with all the different quotes in it. When I was homeschooling Jack, we thought about a lot of quotes from books we were reading, movies we were ingesting, even sports figures. Anybody was an inspiration. So we ended up putting all these golden lines in different books, and I wanted to make a beautiful book for some of my favorite lines. This is a card we worked on during the week. And this one is kind of fun. I think of this as my style iconography, things I like and I want to emulate, like the Care Bears. And this is a grown up Rainbow Bright in my mind. I loved the 1970s and Daria and pirates. These are just images that I had collected throughout the years. Mary Poppins, and just like Greek statuary really inspires me. So I think of that as my style icons. And here is the full flip through of the finished Golden Lines book. I really wanted to work on lettering and making it beautiful and giving myself a place for all those quotes I love. I love how this book turned out. It's really stunningly beautiful. In my mind, it's very scruffy and gorgeous in that. This one is Hope is a Practice, and that lovely cutout at the bottom. I love fill-in bubbles. That's probably my favorite style of writing that I worked with throughout this book. Mary Oliver, what a gift. James Baldwin. This is for me. I am definitely focused on whimsy, and those birds are actually little bits of airplane plywood stuck in, so they're kind of dimensional. The flower is a packing tape transfer, and that little guy, I think I'm going to pick him up. He is also a piece of plywood, and I just kind of tacked him in there to protect him, but I think I kind of love him on that page, so I need to go back and glue him in. But he's adorable. I really love these filled in letters, and I kind of go a little crazy and just do those, I think, almost for the rest of the book. But yeah, Love Out Loud. That was a packing tape, not a packing tape, that was a transfer where you just put paper down the love part and then draw through it. And these are pieces of wall tape that I just painted and then wrote the quotes on because I ran out of room in the board book, so I just added some to the back. And my little library card was all the ladies who were there creating with me. I love to keep track of who I spent time with while creating these projects. This is just one-sided, and it's a big Andy Warhol quote. It's just another way to practice my handwriting. Well, I hope you get inspired to make a board book of your very own. There's so many techniques out there, and it was such a fun class to teach. Stay weird, stay wild, and keep creating.